Hey, how you doing? This is another Cancerian reading. So I hope you guys are doing well. Let's get into the reading, shall we? Don't forget to check out your star signs in your birth chart, as you have many different star signs in your birth chart. There may be some information in your birth chart that may resonate with certain readings on this platform. So do check out those star signs to get those readings. So let's get into this, Cancerian. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. And also, you can leave a comment in the comment area of the video. So let's get on with this, shall we? It does say someone broods inside themselves to see that you win. And it doesn't say that you war with yourself. At times you see that you're not getting involved, but you do know that you could have fun and maybe even vacate, or maybe even look for a vacation to go on, or see yourself there at this time. Wonderful things can happen when you go on holiday. And it does say you realize you have fun when you're out and about with friends. You don't need to speak about anything. Warning you to have trust issues is not going to be the answer. It says, I know I educate myself a lot, so I give myself a lot. And I'm timing myself to give myself so much, or maybe even mentally speaking, give myself warnings that I can see more than it is that I want for myself. I can bring myself good news, and I'm warning myself to get dressed, go out, and have fun. Well done, Cancerian. Good for you, honey. So it looks like you're giving yourself a nice vacation at this time, or you're warning yourself to, go out and have fun, or you know that you work hard and you bring in a lot, you bring a lot to the table, you do a lot for yourself, you know that you're confident at certain things, you know your worth, you know your value, you know you're great at certain things, and you are, very much in your element right now, and making sure that you bask yourself in all those great blessings that you have rewarded yourself through your hard work. Okay, so let's see what else is going on, Cancerian. I'm picking up that it could be someone's birthday as well. You could be possibly spending time with someone that is having a birthday as well, or you could just be enjoying yourself overall, around family and friends, or maybe you just had a birthday and you're in, like, I know it's Leo season, but some people might celebrate their birthday late as well. So maybe this is the time that you say, all right, I'm going to gift myself something for my belated birthday. Um, so yeah, let's see what else is going on for you guys. It does say you begin to have very readiness inside you to gift yourself so much, and you warn yourself not to speak, but is he going to help you? At, at this time, you realize he could never give you what you want, but is he going to, though? As you swore that you would never dump him or leave him, or maybe you see that he's not going to give you time to look at you, but he does know that you're on holiday and you're enjoying yourself. He does know that you've seen yourself abroad and you're giving yourself some time alone to see if you have happy news to offer yourself. And more than this, can he see that you're enjoying yourself? So you probably want to know if someone sees that you're enjoying yourself. It could be a man of some sort because it keeps referring to he. You would know who that is, whether that's a friend, family member, lover, or a person that you know. Um, Maybe there's some comprehension as well. Like, can he see that I'm enjoying myself? Like, almost like not to bother you, but can he see? Or is it that you just want a person to know that you are enjoying yourself? Okay. What else is going on, Cancerian? It says, where would I go? What would I do? Where would I really want to dress up and go? Ideally, I want to wear clothes, shoes, makeup, and see myself out and about. I don't see it's working though. I want to see if he does look at me, and I realize he's looking anyway. So, some of you do want someone's attention to watch you and look at you. Maybe some of you are on the prowl and looking for a new date, or seeing that your crush is watching you in some type of way. And it does say that you have a man, for some of you, that do know that he's looking at you, watching you enjoy yourself on this holiday at this time. Sending calls, video calls, or even messages is not going to be the only thing that he gets. At times, you want to see if he's looking at you anyway, and you wonder what's going on. Okay. It doesn't say more than this. After you ring and call and see what's going on, you may want to tidy your head and see if it works out for you. It says trial and error is going to be on your mind at this time, as bruising your ego is someone that has caused you a scene or made you feel hurt. No one knows why this person is in your way or in your mind, but they keep causing a scene in your brain, and you wonder, could you get adult atmosphere in your head to make sure it never happens again? If I do this, will it work? If I do that, will it work? If I take the opportunity now, will it work? Warning yourself to get pregnant, or maybe even to see that you have time in your mind to wonder if you are pregnant. Some of you guys may be gifting yourself a child, or maybe even telling yourself, I want news of being a mum. It does say, I want to know I'm pregnant and I'm not going to stop until I get him. And it does say that you wonder, can you have sex with this man to keep him there? It also says some of you guys want to know he's there with you, or another woman is there, but you don't want her around. It says caution is there with you all. Being a nerd is something I said I see myself as. I'm a workaholic. I have time to give myself that. I don't have time to continue to bruise my head with another woman in my mind. I don't really want to know that she's there, but what if she's there bruising my head with my man and I don't like it? It says some of you are going through a stress, as an affair could be in the mind, maybe in the atmosphere or around you at this time with your love life. And it does say some of you guys are dealing with negative mental health stresses of nerd energy in your mind, to look at things, research things, study things, or even look at how you and your man can warn yourself that you've got good news. Money could sporadically come through your mind, or even through your life, or even through your door. Some of you are dealing with friends, family members that want to pay you. Some of you guys obviously want to know that you've got good news coming in. And try and warn yourself now that a friend may call you or contact you as they see you as a negative person, not speaking, but are you there? I want to speak to you. I need to know what's going on. It doesn't say that you want to know what's going on, but at this time you wonder what's going on, and you still see a friend could look for you. It says she knows she can look for you, but warns herself not to, as you peek on her and she wonders what's going on with you as you're bothering her. It says some of you guys want to know secret esoteric information and may need your reader to contact you, or you contact them. It does say you answer the phone sometimes, so I want to see if they're there. I want to know if they're there, and I need to see if it's going to happen soon. So some of you guys are readers, or some of you guys are contacting readers to find out what's going on soon. Okay, you want to know secret information, or some of you guys are looking for a way to do that. Maybe peeking on a person, spying on a person, or them spying on you. Okay, it does say someone here is bothered, though, absolutely narcissistic and bothered. No one knows why this man keeps troubling you and keeps troubling her too. He's bothered, and he's borrowing time of yours to see if he can come through and challenge you. Doesn't want to know he can, but he warns himself to stop picking on you. He's narcissistic, and mental health is grieving over a loss in his family, or maybe the mindset of a child. It does say, I know that I'm not going to be good to you, but I'm bothered, and I see myself as a narcissistic man. I try to see myself as a good man, but I can't see myself as a great man, so I'm not going to worry about this. It does say you see yourself as a problem solver, and I realize if she's always in your mind, why would she want to solve her problems the way I see I need to solve my problems? It says the man doesn't know how to deal with the tarot reader, or maybe even the troubles of his own. And it does say he's got mind games to play with his own tarot readings, because he wants to know what's going on with his mind. He realized people are picking on him, and he's answering his mind right now with the person that looks at him. He says he doesn't know why this person sees him or even looks at him, but he's laughed at as he's wrong in his mind at this time, or even today, as he troubles his mind to see where it's going with this reading. He doesn't know why he's even bothered, as the person loves him and wants to know that she's okay, or in love with him and wants to know that there is someone there to love her too. She does know that her mind is telling her off about her man, and he doesn't love her as much as she says in her mind that he loves her. But the only way to find out is by her getting pregnant, or even seeing that she has time to give herself time to mind her manners about the situation, because it's causing her problems again. If she does marry him or get him to divorce, the mindset of hers, if she's not careful, as she knows more about the situation in her mind about how he is and where he's going with her love life, it would never want to work out. It says she knows she's going to probably give you trauma or stress if it doesn't work out. And it does say the warning signs are there for her to mean well to her mind and see that she's no longer going to speak about good news ever again. It says she knows she can target you and pull you down and realize she's never going to speak about you again. She does not know how to deal with the situation in her mind other than that. She realized she can target people and harm them and give them headache after she's seen herself in a bad way with her man. It says no one's going to give her trial and error. The more she gives herself time, the more she gives herself problems. It says she knows she's going to witness things in her brain about the deceptivity of her man and doesn't know how to stop. It is always going to be that, because I'm not going to help you if you can't help yourself. It does say, meanwhile, if this woman doesn't help her, she doesn't know how to help herself. So therefore, she's not going to get the help she needs. Even if she sees someone that could help her live in for now or tomorrow, it's not going to be easy. It says, I know I would help you, but I'm not helping you with everything. And it does say this woman that deals with her doesn't like her mindset, so will not help her with everything if she's going to drag her in the mud or pull her down or make her feel like she's got to go under. It says, I know I wouldn't speak to you again. I realize that, but I warn myself, I know I don't want to speak to you. And I've warned myself many times not to call me. So if you know you want to drag me down into a place of a ditch, then you will ditch yourself. And it does say that someone here is ready to challenge you if you can't behave. And it does say this man doesn't know how to sponsor you in your mind to have a good life, have a good love life. So therefore, if you don't know how to give yourself that, misbehave and see if I do speak about you in my mind again. I will chop you off and never call you again. It says she knows she doesn't want to speak to you after you've dealt with her in a bad way. And she realized she's not going to come to you with any nonsense ever again. She does know that she's warning herself not to speak to you again. So therefore, if you speak to her in any bad way, she's going to contact you in your mind and tell you off and move on. She doesn't want to hear that she's got to move on. So she's got to pick on someone else and make sure that she's got good news. But all this time, Mel, it says, you know what's going to happen. Many of you men are going to contact Mr. Mind Game in the mind and see if it works out. It says no one's going to pick on anyone, because the trouble is everybody is going to satisfy themselves in the end. This way, that way, and all kind of ways if you can't hear to move on and leave the mental health problems alone. Mentally speaking, if a man doesn't want you, leave him alone. Okay, so what it sounds like is chiming in is two different minds. One is the reader or someone that's supposed to help you or you them, and then the other one is you or them trying to see how you can get a problem solved with your man. And it does say this man is not interested in you and doesn't want to be with you, but at times he does. And then he realizes he's a cheater, a manipulator, or a narcissist. But he's very much so in love with your mind. And he does like you being on your best behavior when you're in love with him. So he can still cheat, lie, and have sex. It says you are warned not to speak about it, but he's timing you to have good news in your mental health, to stay there and narcissistically play yourself as you win in your mind at times with the words that you use, as he combatively speaks about things in his brain that he wants to troll you with and conquer you and harm you. It says he knows that he's not going to harm you if it's not you, but if it's someone else, he will gladly do so. But he's warned you not to speak about him because he doesn't want to know that you're in his way. So if you are the one that is in his way, he's going to control you, manipulate you, and take you down again in your mind. Even if he sexes you, it's not love. It says you've got to warn yourself to stop picking on your brain in a way that you think it's love. And the warning signs are there with you and your reader or someone telling you off in your family or friendship energy as you warn them you're not friends with them anymore if they don't tell you the truth. It says they tell you the truth all the time, but you lie. And you don't want to be honest with yourself about your love life. You've got to win. And it doesn't say you're winning if you're lying to yourself. So Cancerian, it's like a warning for you or someone that you're dealing with, yeah, that you're lying to yourself about your love life, or they're lying to themselves about their love life. because this man is just taking the piss. And it does say that he sees himself in a winning situation always. He will never lose that. He's always going to laugh at you and make fun of you. Or if you are not the reader, karmically, it says you could be the reader. It says you are the one that's laughing at a friend that wants to know things. And it does say many of you are laughed at because you know more than them. And it also says if you're a friend of this person, you may know much more than them too, but they are laughed at because they're not listening to you, and they laugh at themselves and make fun of themselves in their minds all the time as they tell you their love life is special and great, and you can't see any different from what you saw before in the laughing way that it was coming out, that they were cheating or warning themselves to have a good time without the person. It says, no wonder you're stressed. Obviously, you admit to yourself that you are laughed at, but then you turn around and still walk on thin air, telling yourself it's going to work out, and it never does. It says, warn yourself to walk away or stay away from the madness, or keep your madness to yourself, as no one wants to challenge you or even walk on your mind about the situation when you're crying or upset about it. Leave others alone to stress in their own lives about how they challenge themselves, their situations, and deal with their mind as they're dealing with things in a way that can water the war will win them a good love life. And the negativity in yours is never going to help them to win a good love life in their mindset if you're always challenging them. Keep away from them, it says. Warning, keep away from them. Wow. There's a warning to keep away. This is spiritual. This is universal. It says it's not going to be easy, but all of you that are having a bad mood in your love life and have been going through this for many years now, and even see that change has never come about, you are warned to walk away from friends, family members, and people that pick on you, that don't have good love lives but have blessings in their mind to change their love lives in better ways. Warning signs are there for you to see that you have good news as they do when it's coming in June or even July. It says all that time you never wanted to listen, but these people know that they have better news coming, and they're warning themselves to have better news in the years ahead. Good luck to you if you don't want to listen. It says time is of the essence. If you don't want to listen, you may not be one of those that get the good news that God is providing in the years ahead. Blessings are on its way. Challenges are there, but you will warn yourself to stop picking on yourself with the bad men or females that are coming out and speaking to you in ways that are never going to give you good love. Wow. Okay. Let's see what else is going on. That's a warning sign from God, honey. It says, all this time I've been wondering when I would hear from God, and I never hear from him. It says, you are a liar. God is there all the time speaking to you and wondering if you listen. God is working on many people and wonderful things can happen. You've got to tell yourself that it's coming. Then you wonder it's not coming because you are with the wrong person, is what God is trying to say. It says, you know you're with the wrong person. Now, why do you keep lying and saying that you're with the right one? God knows that you are not with the wrong person at this time, as you have to look at yourself as a challenge to harm yourself again and again. It says God will allow you to put yourself through anything that you deem necessary to be a negative to yourself. You've got to witness what it is that God is trying to tell you. It says God will allow you to kick stones at yourself, maybe even to throw rocks at yourself and to laugh at yourself when you can't listen, or even challenge the energy to see if it's working or not working. You will riddle yourself until death do you part. It says, warning, I will allow you to. I am God. Oh my goodness. This is why people say God has left them behind sometimes, honey. God ain't left you behind, honey. God will allow you to kick yourself down if you can't work with God in a way that you see sense. Okay? You might try something, but God says you will try until death do you part if you can't see the person or the situation for who they are or what it really is. It says good news is on its way if you are absolutely laughed at. It says no one's going to say that you are bad. People always want to pick on people that know too much. And it does say, when have you ever said anything that's going to be good to the mindset of anyone? It says warning signs are there for you all that don't want to listen but laugh. If you want to look at tarot readings and you want to look at things that don't seem to be in your mind but in the worn out worn out situations in your mind that you keep pressing down on and saying it doesn't work. Then you laugh at people that mean well to themselves and start giving themselves good news. You will lie and say that you have better news. It says, I know that I don't have bad news. I just know that I haven't got good news at times to give you if you don't like the evil information that's coming out. It says people will pick on people. Now, warning, is it ever going to be good news? It does say that you all can get good news if you lie to yourself a little bit and tell yourself good news is coming, and then warn yourself it is coming, and then try to warn yourself it's coming. It says it never comes in that way. Evil Cancerian wants people to lie. It says liars are there with the Cancerians telling themselves to have good news through the lies, and then it never comes. Jesus loves you, it says, but I warn myself, if Jesus loved me, then why is it I don't get good news with my readings? It says Jesus is always going to give you good news with your readings, but never going to give you good news with the way I see things. It says because you're a liar. And it does say Cancerian will challenge readers, readings, or anything that will come out, and even say that they have good news. Warning signs are there for you all to see you've got bad news if you keep lying on the tarot reader or anyone that tells you you have good news and doesn't want to listen. It says you all fell. Now you know why tarot readers are always going to win. It says you all know that you don't want to listen, but then you listen in the end when you see them laughing at you. It says they always laugh at you every year or every month or every noon or every week, but they're always going to laugh at you until the day comes that they stop, as challenges are there for you to see your soul. You will see blessings come this year, and the warning signs are there for you all to see a mistake has been made. And in the karmic value system of yours, I do not care. It says, I don't want to see that I'm in problems, but I'm coming out and I'm still seeing. Have you seen that I want to know everything's going to work out just fine? And it doesn't say that you want to warn someone of this. It says someone's coming out and doesn't want to see problems with you, but they see you've got karma with them. And it also says they know that they're ready to target you too. It also says someone else is trying to come through. Mind you, people keep picking on people. So anytime now, someone could come out and speak about why you have to look at people like that or hear them in their head. It says, I know I want to listen to everything that goes on in the mindset of this woman. It says, you will never know everything that's going on in the mindset of this woman. But if you challenge yourself, you're going to hear them. It does say this man keeps peeking on you and listening to you and warns himself, if he's in love, he will stay. And if he's in love, he will stay. And if he's in love, he will stay. Warning signs are there for him to see that he is staying but never giving you anything. Now what? Now if he stays, is he going to give you a good love life? The warning signs are there for him to get vexed and even dress up and go out and see that he still never wanted you to behave in the way that you were going to behave for yourself. He says he sees himself in trouble and he wonders, can you karmically bless him or curse him? He doesn't want to warn you that he has sex with you. He's warning himself he's having sex with another woman. He does know that he's having sex with someone else and doesn't want to know that he's trialing and erroring you again in your mind. He peeks on you so much. And it does say that someone here keeps watching you, looking at you, and understanding you in your mind. He doesn't want to hear that he has problems with you, but he always sees that you're in love with someone else. And it doesn't say that you are, but you could be in love with another man or woman at this time, even when you're dressed up and going out, or maybe even on holiday. It says, I know this, but I wonder, do you want to do that? Because I swear down I'll leave you to do it. And even when I don't like it, I'm going to allow it because I want to know that I'm cheating and I'm sexing someone else. And it does say he knows he wants to do it even more now that he's challenged. He can speak about things many times over and wants to know, can he pick up the phone and call you, as he's targeting you to have sex and he's targeting you to have mind games. He's targeting you to have many things, but he's warning you to have problems, and many of them at that. And he tries to warn you again, not to speak to him, but he's coming back to laugh at you and make fun of you and your mindset. Wow. That's a lot, Cancerian. Says, I know I want to speak to you. Can I speak to you? I wouldn't want to say that I'm singing to you, but I want to sing to you. And it does say someone here wants to sing to you or a friend. It says, I know I want to hear from you. I want to speak about where I'm going with you. I wouldn't want to know that I'm trying to challenge you, but I want to know, can you speak to me? I want to hear from you. Okay, so someone wants you to speak to them or hear from them, or even someone wants you to sing to them happy birthday or something like that. I'm picking up that energy too. It says not really going to be bothering you that much, but I want to know, are you there? And I really do care about you. I wonder, would you sing to me, as I don't have no one to sing to me today? I really notice that I have friends and they're not even there. People don't even like me though. I realize I hate you. I wouldn't want to care about you and your family. It does say someone here doesn't even want you to stay away from them or even harm them. But it does say you warn yourself to give yourself better news. You could hide all you want to. And it does say mischievous woman doesn't want to know that she's stressing, but she could come out and laugh at you and push down anything of yours. But the thing is, it's always going to be a problem if you see her. It says no one's going to pick on this woman more than I am. And it does say someone here is targeting you now to look at your things or anything you have and laugh at it, steal it, or take it, and maybe even run with it. Maybe even laugh at it again, and then maybe even say, I told you I would take the mind off of you. It says, you know what, I'm going to play with you. Because I said I never wanted to take anything of yours, but I realize I've stolen many things of yours and I'll do it again. It says someone here realized they've seen something, maybe even a missing bowl or even a plant. Maybe something that they've seen is going to go missing in a week. It says no one's taken anything. So keep your mind on something you said. Laugh if you want to, but I'm not going to steal anything of yours again. It says I know you stole from me. I wouldn't want to know that I'm taking away your family's heirlooms. I know that because I've spoken to you about it. It says someone doesn't want to speak to you, but they keep challenging you to have sex in your mind or even play along with their mental health. They keep really looking at you like they could card read you or play with you or even mistakenly give you stress. This person says, I know I can try and give her that because I'm warned to give her that in my mind, but karma is coming to this woman. It says an aunt or a family member is trying to harm you with her mental health, contemplating whether she should steal the day or even play along with your head, and ideally not stress about the situation. Karma is with you right now as I pay too much bills of yours. It says someone here wants to pay a bill for you or even let you know that your bill is due. It says all this time you never spoke about it. It says no one needs to speak to me. I am done for. I realize I've got too much to do. It says you know you've got too much to do, but you do know people are judging you. Many times over, people are judging you and want to know what's happened. Well, many of them may not want to know what's going on if they can't get good karma. So the best thing to do is leave me alone. It says you know that you want to be left alone, but ideally a man here is looking at you and wondering, can you even offer them anything to satisfy your need, to see that you can call out and have good karma with something. Maybe even a man wants to look in your private area and wonders, can he do this? It says he knows he can't get involved with me again. He's got to move on. It says suddenly I realize I want to see you. I don't know if I can, but I want to sex you. It says this man is looking at you and wondering, can he speak about where it's going as he's timing his mind to have sex with you? It says he doesn't know how to speak to me in that way because I warn myself I would never see him in his mind in that way ever. But the warning signs are there for him to move on. And he realized that, but he's not speaking about anything that's going to help you have good news. And he's never going to give you anything that's going to have bad news. But he warns himself not to speak to you directly about karma as he's trying to harm his head to see how he can get you in the room. It says he's never going to, but he realized he's going to try. And he's always going to have sex in his mind, thinking about things he wants and who and with and how. And then he realized he can't come to you with anything. He's trialing his mind right now to see if he can target you and have sex in your mind, but he's never ever going to win. As you warn him, you're not my type, shape, size, or even mannerism. Whatever it is, it says no one wants to know that you are taking the mickey. And it does say you know who's going to come forward, Mr. Mind Game, to play you. It says no one's playing me more than you play yourself. Fuck you. It says, I know that I'm not in love with you and I'd rather not speak, but I ditch you. And I wonder, could you see that I ditched you? It does say he knows why he's not playing mind games again after you told him, look, I'm not interested in you. And it does say when you do say that, he'll realize he has to move on. Suddenly he understands he's got to play a mind game with you. And it doesn't say this man likes you. He realized he likes himself, but he likes you a little bit, and then he likes you no more than you like yourself. Then you realize you like yourself way more than you like him. So it does say he plays himself too many times over and over and challenges you and warns himself to move on now, but he can't feel like it's going to work out. He's wondering, do you want to speak to him or sleep with him, stay with him, or be around him? It doesn't say that you want to do any of that. So you've got to move on, or even see that it's working out in a way that you've tried to dress yourself up. Move on, go out and told him off in his head, and told him you're not interested in him or please him in his mind, to sleep in his brain about the situation and move on. He's not going to give up, but he's warning you. He wants to come out of the shadows and speak to you. So you've got someone that's kind of spying on you, wants to speak to you, wants to sleep with you, wants to be cunning about it, playing like he's all that in a bag of chips, and you don't give a shit about him like that, Cancerian. Okay, that could be another scenario for some of you guys that are going through something with someone, or someone trying to get your attention. So warning signs are there for you to pay your bills on time. Some of you guys need to pay your bills on time. Might have, some type of notifications letting you know that. Some of you are in jail cells in your mind, or thinking about problems that you could go through if you don't pay up something on time. It says no one's going to send you away, but people are picking on you with this energy at this time. Look forward to paying your bills on time. It says some of you are going through stress with people that are targeting their mind, and maybe even taking the time to look at you and then wondering, can they pick on you? It says no one's picking on you more than they need to pick on you, but the warning signs are there for them to see that they are not giving you good news. They may see themselves in a bad way. They warn themselves not to pick on you as much, and they realize they're picking on you a lot more than they should. They shouldn't even speak about it. They wonder why they're even targeting you, but the warning signs are there for them to pick on you again. It says people like TV license and anyone that has jail related issues come into their mind to say they are targeting you for money is going to pick on you today. It says warning signs are there for them to see that they have to move on. They may not want to, but they do know they have to move on, as they study you way too deeply and too emotionally and too hard in the mind, and may pay attention to things that they know they could override or maybe oversee, or maybe even see that they are trying too hard to give you trouble. And they realize that too. As they need to move on, it does say time to remember these times, as people will pick on people, and negative energy is there with men, women, and children at times in a bad way. It says warning signs are there for you not to get too roughed up or even shovel your mind in challenges in your home, as people will pick on you in your mindset today. Your man is not going to love you as much as he loves you in the way that you love you. It says a man is trying to show you that, but it does say he knows that he doesn't need to pick on you, speak to you, or even challenge you in that way, as he's told to move on. And it does say he wonders why you left him. He does know that he's looking at you and wondering why it never worked out. He's warning himself to walk away. And it does say even if he doesn't see you in the mindset of his, he's got to miss you and leave you alone. It does say you do know that you've missed him too. At times you've wondered about him, and he may not speak to you again, but it does say that you warn yourself just to say hi. It does say a man here doesn't need to know me in that way anymore. I've moved on. This man keeps looking at you, targeting you, and wants to stress you. He says, I miss you. I want to know you, and I keep looking at you in my head. I wouldn't want to dare date you again, but I realize if I do, would you come back to me? He says he knows he wants to sex you or kiss you or love you, or even rest assured that he would never have problems in his head like the last one, but he would cause a scene in his brain to get what he wants. He says he knows he shouldn't be even talking to you, and that's where the law comes in. He's in a time error. A problem solved is never a problem shared. It says, I know I shared enough time with him building a bridge in my mind to say he would go down. And it does say he went down for a long time, but it does say he warned himself not to stay there forever. He's going to cause you a scene in your head today, as he tries to warn you that he's seeing her or even speaking to her. But he does know he speaks to no one. He just wants her and he misses her. A female that he slept with or even lived with or even had time to remembers with, but never got good news with her, and warned himself he had to be under a problem. He knows he wants to speak to you. It does say he's under time and in his mind to go back home, or maybe even lose a job, or even look at things in ways that he can't have good news. He's warned to move on from you. You do know that you have problems with him and you don't need him in your life. You realize that, don't you? And it does say warning signs from earth signs or even years older than you mindsets have this in your head. It says you already know that you don't want this man. You don't need him and you don't love him. You don't need to be looked after in the brain in that way. You just know that you just don't want him, and that's that. Okay, but someone could obviously be chiming in, that knows you very well and wants to know that you don't go to anyone that's going to give them any problems, because they love you very much, like this person that's looking out for you, they love you very much, so they don't want you to be in any problems with anyone that's going to harm you or has got, a bad reputation in some type of way or whatever it is. Okay, and it doesn't say more than that. You have to look at yourself and say that you've got good news. So borrow time and energy and move out. It says no one's going to take you down in this way. Have you seen that I want you to move on out of your head about something? I want you to warn yourself to have good news all over. It says, I know I want you to have great news in your mind and everything that you do. And if you warn yourself too that you've got good news, I will laugh and say that it worked. Because I want to know that you have blessed energy in your mind and stress less. But not to warn yourself, you see me all the time and look at what I do without looking at yourself. Make sure you look at yourself and warn yourself that you have great news, because I wonder, do we speak about things in the mindset of the way we see it? I know that I could play along with you so much. And it does say you are not going to speak about it. I love you, but I don't want to see you in a I don't want to see you in a blessing that's going to be a curse to me, because it hurts me to see that you are harmed. And I wonder, do you ever see me in a way that I'm harmed? I'm not going to see myself in that way. That I warn you to have a good life. That's all it is. It says you know you want to challenge someone, they want to challenge you, but it says you wonder who's the mother or who's the child or who's even an adult and who's the youngster. It says you know this person's always picking on their mind or even trying to see who's older or who's stronger or who's wiser. It says I know because I would never want to harm you, and I always see myself in a good way. I don't want to see that you're harmed, but I'm always going to see that I love you, and I never want to see you in a bad way. So I'm going to tell you off, but I'm not going to speak to you again and again. So I'm going to leave you to dress and go out and have good news, or maybe even have sex with someone else. It says this man wants to see you have sex with someone else. He doesn't know if you are, but he warns himself not to come back. He doesn't want to see that you are indeed living a lie. He wants you to know that you have good news in your mind and laughs at you anytime he sees you in your mind about it. But he promised not to play along with your mindset. He's going to challenge you again to move on, and maybe even see that you're blessed and move on past the curses and past the wars. He says, I know that you love me, but I'm not going to speak about you all the time. And I'm going to see that you move on every day. I will move on and always move on. And that will be that. And I'll leave you to it. Okay. So it looks like this person's going to leave you to move on and enjoy yourself with another person and leave you to it. Okay. Let's wrap up this reading now, Cancerian. It says, every time I speak to you, you have good news. And I warn myself not to speak, but you have very good news now. It does say commitments that you are doing. Work is there for you to do. And maybe even seeing yourself at GP doctors, or maybe even seeing yourself wording your mind for good news is coming in and warning yourself to go out and look great. Absolutely good. Because I warn myself, you are stunning. And it does say this man knows he likes you a lot, but he can't see you anymore and he's worried. Okay, could be an air sign person. Okay, could be an earth sign person. Could be a Leo, could be someone else, but it does say you know that you look too good, and that's why you don't even want to look at me. And it does say this man here sees he's not in trouble with anyone. He's got karma coming with his brain. At times he doesn't even know who she is. It does say a Leo doesn't even know you, but he always laughs at you. He could be a child or even a son or even a child at home. It does say a man at school is going to be the answer. Someone doesn't know how to speak to you, but he warns you if he ever goes back to the classroom, he's going to be done for. It does say this man sees himself in a problem as he sees a child that doesn't know how to school himself go back to school. It does say when you realize you've got problems with me, I will deal with you. And it does say that I ain't got no problems with you, but I warn myself to tell him to go there. And it does say that I'm not sending him there, so why are you challenging me? It says, I warn you never to send him there, but I warn you not to go back in your mind about it. How dare I speak about you like you never had good news? I warn myself not to trust you. It does say that I never wanted to trust you too, but I warn myself this too. And it does say many thanks to you and the demons in your mind have been telling you off. It does say school or even college is there for someone that doesn't want to go there. And it also says government issues are there for you to see that you have problems with your family or even child. It does say the child that doesn't want to go to school is not going to be easy, but he's always trying to challenge you. And it doesn't say that he is, but he is having good news with you in your mind. And it does say, well, I know that I'm speaking from both sides of the spectrum, so I wouldn't want to call you, but I realize you have problems with your kids. And it does say this man's mindset will have problems with his own mind if he doesn't leave you alone and stop targeting you. He's got brain tumors in his head, hasn't he? It does say, warning, you have brain tumors in your head. If you have problems in your mind, you're going to feel the wrath. It says, well, I know this. I'm not going to speak to you. And it does say, I know this because I know that you're the one doing it. And warning signs are there for anyone to put spells, root work, magic on a child is going to have brain tumors in their head. It does say many thanks to you and an email sent out to cause a harm to a man's mind or a child's mind or a female's mind or even the woman's mind that he keeps targeting is going to have problems. He knows he has problems already, so he's going to build a bridge in his mind, look forward to problems and move on. He doesn't know how to struggle, or he does, but he realized he's got to move on now as he's seen himself in a puddle, and he realized he's got to mentally strive or even hell raise on his mind, move out as he goes back home in another year. It says he knows he's got to live another day and speak of things that he is doing as spell work is there. And it does say he's warning himself to move on. He could struggle and struggle and struggle, but he's never going to see good news for himself. And he warns himself to target himself and move on. So, Cancerian, that was your reading for now. We could go on and on and on because there seems like there's a lot more to talk about. But I'm going to leave it there, my lovelies. And I will speak to you again in your next reading. Ciao for now. Bye.